I'm going to start from the beginning and just go through um, some ways that you can apply C++ to automating routine tasks on the computer. So in this one, I'm just going to find the mouse position, which is a bit of a task on its own, and I'm going to start a new console app for C++. You can call it pretty much anything you want. It might take a second to load the new project. And when it does, there's some notes, comments that I'm gonna delete because they're not really necessary. And it's a good idea to have a title block at the top, or something describing what it's for, in case you forget. And for this, there's a couple libraries that are good to use, like Windows.h, and what else is good? String.h, in case you use strings. Include math for complex math. And then there's a special one for these kind of things. And this is going to include a library called user32.h, or .lib. And there's no T. Okay. This probably should have a space. Okay. Alright. And I'm going to delete this and return 0 if it happens correctly. I just don't want to forget that later. So the first thing is to find the mouse position. I'm going to make it into its own function. So I'm going to have function prototype. And for the x and y, I'm going to use pointers. I think it's a little bit easier to keep track of when you use pointers. A little more complex on the designing it, especially when pointers are confusing you. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit simpler though, and not do anything crazy with the pointers. Okay, so for this, we're going to need a Windows little structure here, HWND, or class, I guess. And this is a class for the desktop. And so get desktop window will provide some information about the window and allow us to get the position of the mouse. I'm going to have a little loop here, so I'm going to make a flag and say when it's 1, it just keeps looping. And a char, I'm going to call input and make it kind of weird so that I don't use it again. Mouse, I call it flag mouse. Alright, and I'm just going to have a scanf, and since this is Visual Studio, it has the -s. Not quite sure why they changed that. Alright, it's going to look for a character. That character's going to inputs. Okay, first conditional. I'm going to make X so you can quit. And the other conditional, I'm just gonna say if if it's M for mouse, then that'll be the other condition. You could do if else, or a number of other ways of doing this. But for that, I'm going to have point P. There we go. Just waiting for it to get highlighted by the what do they call it? IED. That's it. Screen to client is going to be that HWND desktop variable that, or class that we made, and P. Okay. And did I spell something wrong? Get cursor. Oh, spelled that wrong. Okay. Maybe I spelled more than that wrong. Oh, there one. Yeah. The line underneath went away, so we're good. Okay, and so this is gonna save the X and Y position to that pointer that we passed in. Oh, that's what's Y. Oh, I got it backwards. First one I put Y. Yep, okay. And well, the flag for the mouse equals 0. Now that we have what we want, sleep. Let's just give it a little delay, just in case. Okay, and well, I wanted to print out something, so cout dash. Let's just make it short exposition, and okay, so take a second of writing. And the Y and line, it's just like that. You know, I forgot something up here. We want, you know, what is it called? Yeah, using namespace. Yeah, so that's a standard namespace. It allows it so that cout can just be cout instead of std colon cout. So makes it a little simpler. Okay, so we got everything there. Yeah, just return if that happens. And this function should be ready. So in this case, what do we need at the beginning here? Well, let's just call it X position and Y position, you know, short terms there. Put it inside of this function. And we're using pointers, so, you know, for the X position, we're going to do it like this with the address. And address again, except this one's Y. Okay, oh, yeah, semicolon, can't forget that. And then at the end there, well, no, actually, we want a little prompt here to say what it's all about. So I'll just give it a little line space. What should we put here? Yeah, just hover over position. M is well, M mouse, and press enter. And yep, this should be about it. So this should be enough to find the mouse position. And let's try it out. I'm just gonna press this button, get it compiled, built, see what happens. And it appears that it is working. Nice.